Anyone out there? Okay. Uh, well, I'm doing a special edition of my rant today because some user from YouTube. I'm gonna post his name and his question on the little sidebar over there. That way or that way, I don't really know. But he was talking about why don't I rant about the horror movie industry. Now I paused myself for a second when I thought about this, and then a whole bunch of fucking rage came into my head, thinking about how the horror genre in the movies have just fucked up so bad. I mean, the action movies, you blow some shit up and you got good, just some good lines, some fucking people beating the shit out of each other, maybe car into a chopper, and it's like, holy shit, that was an awesome movie. But horror movies, now horror is a really hard thing to tackle. I'm gonna leave most of the fuck ups to the 80s. Let's be honest, they fucked up a lot of horror things that could have just made it so much scarier, but they put teenagers getting naked and getting killed in it, which just didn't really speak horror. It was sort of like a fetish vid, to be honest with you. And if you're asking why I'm in the dark, it's because, it's supposed to be horror. Anyways, I'm gonna have to break into this, first of all. I'm gonna get into the good things. Now let's talk about the good old days. Good horror movies. Nosferatu. That was one of the original ones. Black and white. That thing looks scary as fuck. To be honest with you. I saw it when I was 5. And I was fucking shitting my pants. I know it sounds stupid. Oh, black and white movie. Shitting your pants. Exorcist. Okay. Maybe if I would have seen it a couple of years before I did. Because when I saw it, I was around 13. I thought it was just fucking hilarious. They had something good going on, but they relied too much on effects and shit. They could have just made it a whole lot scarier. But if you read, the stuff like that, that's actually pretty scary. Stuff in books is will trip you out more than you see in a movie because you can portray it in your mind, and that's what gives you the horror thing. And I'm reminded of an old creepy tale of a girl and a little dog, and if you know where I'm going with this, humans can lick too. If you don't look it up, that creeped the shit out of me. But another good horror movie, George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, the original one, back in the 50s. The thing about it is that they made it look so real. Everything, people dying, shit. And then to add to that, they have a scene where you see people tearing apart a human open. I mean, the zombies tearing apart, a live human open, and they're just eating the guts. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's some good special effects. But when I found out a couple years later, after watching Land of the Dead, the extras, George A. Romero tells that that wasn't special effects. Those were just guts from animals that the actors just fucking started chomping down on, which is something amazing considering, the amount that they were committed to pulling it off. It scared the pants off of tons of people back then. Even when I saw it when I was around 7, I was kind of freaking out, because it seemed real. Like it was a documentary more than a movie. And then you got your movies that could have been a hell of a lot scarier, but they just fucked it up because they relied on the teeny poppers. Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's think about it. A guy that can kill you in your sleep, in your dreams, twisting them to fuck knows God what. And it could kill you. And he could kill you because he was already dead and you couldn't do shit about it. Now, that's an interesting subject. But where they fucked up was having all the little teeny boppers running around. Oh my god, look at my teeth! And Johnny Depp getting pulled into the bed and all that shit. Now, the whole thing about him being a child molester and the parents burning him down, yeah, that was pretty cool. And the glove thing, that was pretty eerie. I couldn't watch that for a while when I was a kid. But I mean, just his costume. You know, the shirt with the pants and the fucking old man hat. That isn't scary at all. That's just creepy, you know? It's like, here, get away from me. Fucking burn the victim. Go find some water or something. Look like jerky. But anyways, um, it just could have been a whole lot scarier if they would have had the right costume and less of the cheesy lines and less teeny boppers. If it would have been real horror. Like I've seen a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and none of them really got me. But one night we were, I think it was on a road trip. I saw one part of it. I forget which one it was, but the girl's in the room in the hospital room and she's talking about something, and the little kid's there and he's like, what? And all of a sudden you just see her get picked up and shoved into the roof and she's getting clawed, blood's flying everywhere, and the kid's freaking out, and then he sees Freddy and shit and she's freaking out. That was pretty good. It's horror, he was wearing like a dark jacket and stuff, creepy, don't know what the fuck's going on. That's pretty cool. Okay, obvious fuck ups. The whole Jason series, Jason's gonna get you, I'm not even gonna mention it because you've seen them and you know how lame they are. They could have went with a different angle. Would have been way much better, in my opinion. And Scream, that was an interesting little movie. The very beginning was very creepy. They could have did well with that and just went with the whole angle. The creepy, just letting the people freak out and run all over the place, and then eventually, gotcha, which would have been great. More recent horror things that I can say. Scary, scary, scary. Um, can't really think of anything. Nothing really. But just to show you how far the horror industry's gone. But good, scary, or creepy things. Um, if any of you have ever seen the movie Mirror Mask, you know how the whole world's painted and stuff in the very beginning and everything's going black. That's kind of creepy. That sort of freaks you out. Let's see. I'm trying to think. And if you can think of anything else, leave it there. But all I'm trying to say is that the horror industry, it's hard to pull off. Stephen King movies, books are great, they're amazing, but movies are just kind of lame. Um, oh, it, you know, freaked me out as a kid. Clown, I'm gonna get you again. That freaks people out. It freaks me out a good lot that I can watch for a while, but then I watched it again about 2 years later and just noticed how lame it was after a while. We could do better than this. I mean, the horror industry is a hard thing to knock because horror has to be dead on. If you look at books, they're easy, as I said earlier, they're easy to get the point of horror across because you're reading it. You can imagine in your mind, you picture what would be creepy in your mind, not just a general mass marketed audience would find weird, and that's what makes it so much better. So next time you go watch a horror movie, just laugh. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right?